And here in the Hyundai Texans radio studio with us is head coach DeMeco Ryans. Huge week. We appreciate the time, Coach. Congratulations on beating the Titans and having this big opportunity. You always say it. You earn the right for these things, and you guys certainly have.
For sure. No, it's an exciting moment, and our guys have earned this moment, and that's what I'm most proud of, right, to be in this position because of the work, the sacrifices that they made, the work that they put in to have us in this position. Man, it's a huge honor to be able to still be vying for an opportunity at this point in the season. So excited for the opportunity, excited for our guys to experience it.
Coach, every single week, noon. You get a routine of doing it at noon. All of a sudden, record scratch. Saturday at 7. I know it's 19 hours difference. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in your world, that's a massive difference. How do you kind of go about making the changes of doing things a day early?
Yeah, for sure. So we just bump our schedule up. So typically this will be our day after game, right? Monday for us. Now we had our victory Monday, or this is the guys' victory Monday. Now we just bump it all up. So now we play on Saturday. That's, we just count. That's our Sunday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be our Wednesday. So guys may get a little confused. We come in here tomorrow. It's like, hey, this is our Wednesday. This is our Thursday, Friday. And we get going on the same schedule just to keep our guys into the same routine that we've been on all year.
All right, more on the upcoming game in just a few moments, but a little reflection on the Titans game. One thing that stood out to me in the first matchup was stop after stop after stop that you made, the kind of energy and commitment that took, but you were able to duplicate that in the rematch, Coach, and your defense really came up strong time and time again.
Yeah, really. As I always talk about, it was the defensive line, right? And the pressure that they were able to generate up front, right, really controlling the line of scrimmage in the run game and then in the passing game where – and I was looking up. It's like, okay, I don't have to really call a blitz. They're getting there with the front four. I mean, Coach Jock, Coach Rod, they did a really great job of, scheming their game plan, all right, for how we wanted to rush these guys. They did a really good job no matter who was up. Everybody was able to be effective. Everybody contributed, right? Even Kurt is getting in. We got Derek Barnett. You got Will, all right. Jerry, each guy was able to be effective. Tart stepped in, played big for us in the run game. So to have all 8 D linemen contribute, that was the reason why we were successful.
Was Stingley an honorary defensive lineman for that stop? Where you went nuts?
He's very much so an honorary D lineman, and he's flexing. He's saying, yeah, I'm a box safety. I can be a box safety. He was. I was happy to see him, man, step up and make that tackle. And actually, Coach Dino had showed me a tackle he made, like, I think it was last year versus Derrick Henry on the edge. He's like, hey, Coach, he's done it before. And so it's cool to see him step up and do that again.
All right, Coach, I'm going to kind of bridge the gap between what I want to ask you about with a stat. Your sack yardage yesterday was higher than Derrick Henry's rush yardage. Your sack yardage accounted for 50 yards and losses. Derrick Henry was only able to come up with 42. And you know the nemesis he's been. Yeah. You slowed him down almost to a crawl the time in Nashville. You did it again this time. What was key in making sure that he didn't hurt you? We've talked about eliminating the runway, killing the engine, those kind of things. Did you repeat that the way you wanted to yesterday?
Yeah, we did. For the most part, we repeated that. It starts with setting the edge. He got out on us one play where we kind of got nosy and peeked inside, and he got a long run on us. But you take out that run, and for the most part, our guys did a good job of setting the edges, balling him up, making him check his feet, stop and start, and our guys were swarming. And that's what allowed us to play really good versus him. Derrick has been a great back. I think he's over 1,000 yards rushing again. Like, he's been a great back in this league, and it was a huge task for our guys, and they were up to it. I knew they were going to come in and try to establish a run game, get Derrick going again. But our guys, they stood up, they made plays, and they played together.
I know you probably want to run it for 200 a game or whatever, Coach, but we've seen tremendous progress here in the second part of the season, more consistency in the ground attack. Is that the way you feel about it?
Yeah, it has been very much more consistent, right? I think guys are dialed into what we're asking them to do. Guys are really executing what we're asking them to do much better. The O-line, they've done a great job of targeting their guys with their hat placement, being in the proper leverage. And Motor, he's done a great job of running the ball for us. And we just continue to lean on him and what he's able to do, creating those 5+ runs to keep chains moving.
Yeah, he did a tremendous job. But Your quarterback was back for the first time in 3 weeks, playing against the Jets December 10th. He's back December 31st. How do you feel like CJ not only played, but managed the situation, managed the operation of the day?
I felt CJ, from the warm-ups, I felt he was very calm.
Yeah.
Like throughout and it showed just throughout the entire game. He was very calm. He didn't get too high, too low. Like even if he made a mistake or something, he was like, "Oh, okay, my bad." And he just kept moving. He put that behind him, and he just kept pressing forward. So I really loved his demeanor in the game, and I think that calmness, that confidence, everybody felt that. He played really well, made great decisions with the football, went going through his reads, exactly how we coach him up to do it. So he did a really great job in this game.
What about the chemistry he has with Nico? We know it's there with Tank. We don't have Tank anymore this season. But with Nico, clearly there's something special brewing there.
Oh, for sure. So I tell him, Nico is always open. Looks like CJ is going to find a way to get the ball to him. And they have that special connection. And it's really fun to see. Every time he lets it go, I was just like, who is he throwing? It's Nico. Like it's a toe tap on the sideline or something. He's always open. But Nico, right, he has had such a great year. Right, and I think CJ has felt that, that confidence in throwing the ball to Nico because Nico continues to make play after play for him, and those guys, their connection has truly grown. Like now can't get Tank back, but man, you think about the connection from CJ and Tank, and now how it's just transpired to Nico being able to make those plays, and CJ has the confidence in Nico, and they have a true connection, and that's what we have to lean on as we continue to press forward throughout the season, right? That's our big-time playmaker. We have to lean on him to make those plays for us.
Coach, we've talked to both you and Nick throughout the year, and one of the things we say, well, hey, this guy's injured or this guy's not able to play, this guy's suspended, what are you going to do? And you have constantly said 3 words, 4 words, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Brevin Jordan goes in at playing more fullback than he's played. I mean, obviously all tight ends nowadays are playing all over the place, but he played more fullback because Andrew ends up getting banged up and can't play. What'd you think of the way Brev stepped in and kind of accepted that role? I talked to him after the game, and he was probably more happy about his blocking than he was catching the touchdown pass.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of him kind of stepping into the we'll figure it out role at fullback?
He fit right in. Yeah. That's what it is. We figured it out. Brevin was excited about that opportunity, and it was just cool to see, like, when he made a block and to hear how everybody's just fired up behind. Yeah, great block, man. Yeah. He's coming off to the sideline. Awesome. We're high-fiving him because everybody knows what goes into that, right, and how much it means just to make that block, right? And Brev was – we always talk about dominating your one-on-one, and he did that in those instances, being at the fullback position, and he was up for the challenge. Brev had a really nice game, and it was cool. We do this compete period on Thursdays, a third down compete period, and Brev was open and he missed one. And I told him, I said, Brev, you got great hands, man. You're going to be in this position again, and you're going to make this play for us. So it's none cooler than to see him make the play, the catch from CJ for the touchdown. Brev has done a great job all year, and he's continued to get better, right, in that tight end role. And now slash fullback, he's doing a good job of blocking, but he's a young player who's continuing to ascend.
What about the tackle situation? I've lost track of all the adjustments you had to make here on the O-line, Coach, but you had Laramie nicked up or whatever. You had George going over to the left, Charlie Heck playing right, and we just got him back recently, relatively. So your thoughts on that?
It starts with just, man, having a deep group where you can, having that flexibility to move guys around. Right now we had George who goes in at left tackle, and we continue to drive. We continue to be efficient. We don't lose a step there. Hopefully we can get Laramie back this week. Hopefully it's not that bad. We'll see how he progresses throughout the week. But it's also comforting to know when you got guys as Charlie, right, and George who can step in and we can continue to run our offense. Guys can continue to protect our edges, which is the utmost important, right? We have to make sure CJ is protected, and those guys have done a great job.
How bizarre is it when you see, all right, Tierre Tart makes a play for you against his former team. You're looking at Wallow over there. Wait a minute, that's their guy now. He's playing defense for them. It's strange, but that's the NFL, right?
That is. And a lot of moving pieces in the NFL, a lot of guys moving from team to team. And the main thing is a lot of guys like Wallow, like a lot of guys just want the opportunity to play, right? And, we try to keep Wallow around, but he's like, man, I got the opportunity to go play. And as a coach, you're kind of selfish. You want to keep him, but at the same time, like, no, man, go ahead. Right, you deserve it. Like, he did a great job for us on our scout team all throughout the year. probably won about 5 scout team players of the week. And, he deserved the opportunity to go play. So I was happy to see Wallow out there playing, significant snaps. And then we were able to get one of their guys and Tart, able to get him off of waivers. And he's been a good addition for us, a big guy, really playing good in the run game. Is something we've been missing in the run game, having a bigger body in there. He did a good job of stepping up for us.
Coach, you've had defensive stops throughout the year. And I think asking you your favorite is probably choosing between your kids. Well, I love this thing. You're not going to do that. I feel like the one we saw yesterday was my favorite because it was 7 opportunities for them to get in the end zone, and you shut every single one of them down. And we watch on Friday that back end zone where you guys are working on the red zone routes and things like that. We see you working on it. I was standing at the same spot watching all of that work really come to fruition. I think that's probably why I was happiest with it, because you took something from the practice field and put it right in practice out on the game field. What'd you think about when you went back and watched the film of that seven play stop? What'd you think of that stand?
It makes, for me as a coach, it just makes you really proud that our guys were able to go through as you spoke about the practice and how many times we go through all these different route concepts and we try to throw everything at the guys, right? And the way they handle it on Friday, to see them step into that moment in the game, as you say, 7 stops, like everybody was so calm, so confident, and more like they were ready to. They matched all the routes. I mean, you say perfect. They were on it exactly where they're supposed to be, and no better than the one with Christian. He's able to play that stick route. Been trying to get Christian to play that all year, and he finally plays it perfectly and gets the pass breakup. Right, to get the 4th down stop. Man, I'm so fired up for Christian in that moment because I know how much work has went into teaching and trying to make sure we understand those pattern matches and be exactly where we're supposed to be. And he had a perfect rep there to get us off of the field.
Yeah, now he's got to work on a jugs gun because that's 100 the other way.
Got to catch it, right?
That's 100 the other way.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Good highlight. Coach Kareem Jackson got into the game. We haven't had a chance to discuss him with you yet. Last week we talked, but you acquired him after that. So what'd you see from Kareem so far? I know it wasn't a ton of plays, but it was something. And what are the expectations?
Yeah, for Kareem, we wanted to get him about 15 to 20 snaps just to get his feet wet, so to say, just to get him used. I know we got him in practice on Wednesday, so there's a lot of new terminology, right? Coverages he's played before, but you have to get used to the terminology, how we do things. We may match things a little different. So just trying to allow him to get more comfortable with what we do. And his snaps will there'll be an uptick in his snaps the more comfortable he gets.
All right, we finished the regular season. I said that to you yesterday. Welcome to the playoffs, because it is that mode of, we don't know. After this week, win, keep playing. You've been in that role before, Coach, with the 49ers, played in the playoffs with the Texans. There's something special. I know it's week 18. I get it. But it's a win and keep going situation, which you've definitely earned. What are your thoughts, kind of just that in and of itself, that it comes down to one game to keep it going for the season?
Yeah, like you mentioned, man, it is the playoffs right now. You win and you stay in, and that's the mindset. That's how we have to approach it. That's what it is, win and stay in mentality. But for our guys, as we talk about it and as we go through our preparation throughout the week, right, your focus still stays the same, just as you prepared last week. Don't make anything bigger than what it is. It's still about going out and playing clean football, about executing, about swarming, playing together. If we do that, then it takes care of itself. But we can't have our guys get too hyped up about it being this playoff opportunity. We just have to remain confident, remain calm in the moment, and play clean, and it takes care of itself.
As opposed to the Titans, which was 2 weeks apart between the two matchups, the Colts, week 2, feels like 100 years ago. How are you different from that game? You've evolved a lot as a team since then.
Definitely have evolved a lot. We know who we are as a team now. Let's say in week 2, you're kind of still trying to figure out, right, who you are, the style of play you're going to play. You have an idea of how you want to do that going into the year, but it takes time for a team to gel. And it takes time to see, who are the real playmakers, who's going to step up in those moments when the lights are on. So you kind of figuring your team out. And, man, I didn't know who we were at that point in time of the year. But it's awesome to see, the growth from our team from that game 2 to where we are now. You know who we are, or you know the style of play that we want to play. It's just And it's just cool to see the different guys who are stepping up now. We lost a lot of guys who I was looking at that film like, man, where did he come from? Where is he now? It's like, man, it's a completely different team. So it's just that's the NFL. It's such a long season and how you grow and how your team kind of shapes and forms at the end of the year, and it gels at just the right time. As I told our guys, man, we're just now hitting our stride. We know who we are. We know how we need to play. We know what it takes to win games, and we just have to keep thriving in that role.
How are they different?
Yeah, they're different, and where I think they're different is just the running game of these guys. They ran the ball well versus us, but now getting Jonathan Taylor back, I think that's where they're gonna lean heavy. They're going to run it. They probably run it more than anybody in the league. So we have to do a really good job of stopping the run. And the quarterback, I think he's just been so efficient. Yeah. They don't throw it deep a lot, but when they scheme up some shot plays, they're wide open and they're able to make those plays. But they're very efficient throwing the ball under 10 yards, getting the ball into their playmakers' hands. About Pittman, all right, and he's able to make some big-time plays for them.
Coach, on the defensive side of the ball, they've got two of the best in the middle with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. And that's one thing that hasn't changed from week 2 to week 18 is you still got to face those two hosses in front. How problematic is that for your interior to have to block those two guys all game?
That's gonna be a problem. Those are two big time playmakers. They're big guys. They're gonna cause problems run game, pass game. So you have to find ways to slow them down as much as you can, whether it's getting on the perimeter, double teams, slide in the front. Sliding the protection to one guy or the other. You just have to scheme it up the proper way so those guys don't wreck the game.
I'm still mad at John for having traded him from the 49ers to the Colts, but, we got to let it go at some point.
What about playing at night, the dynamic of being on the road? You have all day in the hotel. Haven't had this since the preseason, and this is something because, as John said, you're used to these noon starts. So how do you handle a day in the hotel while you're getting ready for such a huge game at night?
I kind of go back to our preseason game versus the Saints. The last time we were in this position, we played a night game. So I'll go back to that schedule and kind of see how we did that. And we'll have chapel and mass for our guys on Saturday morning before the game. They'll wake up, breakfast, chapel, mass. Then we'll have a few special teams walk through, O&D walk through just to get the guys up, moving around so nobody's just laying in the bed all day. Want the guys to be up and moving around. And then after that, it's just guys, whatever you need to do to get ready, hop on the buses and have your mindset right, and we're ready to roll.
Coach, I want to ask you about something CJ said during his presser. He said the time is now. He's like, he didn't have to say it, but it's like he's 22. Everybody knows the future is going to be great with him and with everything that's going on here. But he said, no, we're not worried about that. We're worried about it right now. This is the time for us. What are your thoughts when your young quarterback says something like that?
Yeah, I love it because that's the truth of the matter, right? No one can predict what's going to happen in the future, even though people may say, the future is bright or we have young talent. Like, every year is different. Things happen. You lose guys. Teams change every year. So you have to own the moment that we have right now. And right now we have an opportunity versus the Colts. So that time is right now. If we handle business the right way, we know how good our team can be. We know how good of football we can play. So that time is now, and I definitely agree with what CJ says.
Yeah.
All right, the Amegy Bank Ask Coach question of the week, and I asked Nick Caserio a version of this as well. When you're on the road and you do have some downtime, if there's any, and maybe you have a little bit now because you have a night game, what do? Are you reading? Are you watching a streaming service like Netflix or Amazon Prime, or are you just really dug into football? What do you do, Coach?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm digging into the film as much as I can, trying to get those. Man, let me watch it one more time, see how comfortable I get with the. Then you watch whatever. College, most of the time, college football is on.
Right.
I don't think we'll have that this Saturday.
Friday night.
It'll be over. So won't have college football to watch. So if there's something on Netflix or Amazon to watch, you try to watch a little something to get your mind away to, burn some of that downtime. But for the most part, it's just all ball going through the game plan over again.
Do you get some sleep the night before the game usually?
Try to. It's hard. It's hard to go to sleep. You're so anxious thinking about that moment, thinking about the game, so it's hard to get rest.
Talking to you right now, you want to play tomorrow.
Let's go.
I mean, you seem like, okay, let's just go. Let's go play right now.
Yeah,
so.
man, it's an exciting moment. I'm excited about the opportunity, ready to go. No, got a lot of preparation still ahead.
Yeah, sure.
So calm down a little bit, Meek, but so we'll get there, man. I am excited for this opportunity, excited for our guys.
We're right there with you, Coach. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.